Hi there. In this quick video we will be taking a look at this Eaton 5E Essential UPS, and the model number we should be seeing somewhere around here. So it's the 850 volt amps that actually gives maximum 480 watts model that has an USB, and also being DIN, it has this thing, a standard Suco, not sure how to pronounce that, socket. Because I want to use this on my router that I will link in the description if that video is also ready. I bought a router that can actually connect to mobile networks also when the main internet goes down because of power outage, which is quite common in my particular location. So in theory this should keep that router functioning and giving me internet for my work laptop so I can continue to work. So let's take a better look at what this thingy can do. So it has automatic voltage regulation. It will correct the voltage. We will see in the manual from what to what it can connect. It has a protection for the internet sockets right there, but we'll see that on the unit. Power on button obviously, and a USB connection, and a software that installs onto the computer. I think it also works on Linux, Windows, maybe some Mac stuff, not really 100% sure about that. Even some NAS devices support this particular thingy to connect to them. Anyway, so some more info right here. Okay, so input voltage you can see here. Actually no, we are here. Sorry about that. So from 170 to 280, and it will correct that. And these are our specs. Cold start, which is quite nice. Yes, an alarm. I think we can shut that off through the software. And it will charge the battery always when it's plugged in, not only when it's on. And 2 years including battery as a warranty. Do we have something else? Nah, just some info about Eaton. And again, this. Let's open this box. In theory, I cut away everything, so hopefully we can actually open the box. Let's see what we have here. One connection cable. This is not a power cable, it's the cable to connect the UPS to a computer, for example. Quick start, we will check that out in a moment. And this I kind of need 2 hands to get it out of the box. And it's out of the box, and let's get this off with 1 hand. It's much more compact than I was expecting it to be, given the box size and the weight, because it's quite a little heavy device, but it's compact, so I like that. Let's get the plastic off of it. So what I want to point out first, most UPSs that I was used to from work, for example, from old jobs, were from metal. This, nope. This is plastic all over. Even this black back panel is plastic. So everything is plastic. Front, obviously plastic. But that shouldn't be a problem. I don't think that's what matters. I didn't find any reliability problems while investigating to buy or not to buy this thing online. So plastic, yeah, whatever. In theory, it has all the protections so it will not catch fire, and also expect this to be a non-flammable plastic. That only that would make sense. Anyway, and the battery is 12 volt, 9 amps. Inside of this little guy. Let's see. Hi there. And it's on. And it's off. So that was the offline power on mode. It can power on even offline. Some UPSs cannot do that. Let's check the manual and I will tell you why there is a chance that I will be returning this thing. Yep. In the Australian manual, and that's the absolute only manual, it is written that under a really low load, this thing will power off. Doesn't specify what that load is, 1, 2, 10 watts, 15 watts. We do not know that, and it's written only in the Australian manual. And that particular model has an AU at the back. So I decided to contact Eaton in Romania to make sure that only the Australian one has that model. Well, they actually, not that model, that function. They replied that all of them shut off when under a really low load. All the 5E series. Actually, no. Only the ones up to 850 watts. The ones higher than that don't shut off under a low load. But then again, why isn't it in all the manuals? It's only in the Australian one. So I decided to take a gamble and see. Hopefully the Eaton guy from Romania was wrong about this. And only for AU they have some weird regulation to have that mode. Let me quickly show you this. So we are basically not getting this cable. We are only getting this particular cable between the PC and the unit itself. And we are only getting one, although this obviously has 2 ports. So basically, in the end, get your own cables. That's what they tell us. Let's see. If you want to read by yourself, feel free to pause at any time. We are here in this category, and there are the bigger ones, which in theory don't have that auto shut off under low load mode. But I really hope that this one also doesn't have it, because I want this port. And if you want this Suco port, these ones don't have it. These are the only models that have it. So yeah, good luck with that. Troubleshooting, if you want to read it, although you can find manuals for everything online. But hey, we are here. This maybe nah. And this presumably it's upside down. Anyway, or actually I don't think it's upside down. It's just from right to left, the text. That's the way they write. Anyway, for the specs, we are right here. And let's get lower voltage regulation. It will adjust correctly frequency. Modified sine wave. This is what we have inside. 6 hours to 9% charge. And it has USB. And this is the switching time for our particular model. 2 to 6 milliseconds typical, 10 milliseconds max. This is what the LED tells us. And yeah, alarms, I hope I can disable those. Protections, discharge, overcharge and overload. Perfect. Dimensions, and it has 5.1 kilograms, operating from 0 to 40 degrees Celsius. Less than 40 decibels, as far as I know. This has no fan in it, so it's just making the buzzing noise from the transformers. And for a 100% watt load, it will work. Let's see, where's my finger? Down. 20 minutes. But if you look here between battery and communication, nothing about green power. Let me show you the AU manual. And here we have the AU model. Exactly the same one. Let's go down, same battery, same 6 hours, and we have this line which isn't in my manual. Green power function. Yes, UPS powers off under light load and no mains power condition. And that sucks if you want to use this for a router. But if we go, let me see, I think I have other manuals. I honestly tried all the manuals in the world and none of them have that apart from the AU one. So hopefully it doesn't have this, but the Romanian Eaton person told me that it has it and it cannot be switched off. So I really hope he was wrong. Let's connect this. I will go grab a power cable, connect it and see what it does. Brought my own power cable, plug it in. The connector is a bit loosey-goosey in there and the back panel kind of flexes, but nothing bad. Overall, if this will work for what I need it to work, this is really good bang for the buck, honestly. I couldn't find many of known and reputable companies at this price. They were basically mostly no names in my opinion. And other good companies were twice as expensive, so yeah. Let's plug this in and see if you can keep the router on without shutting off. They don't even tell you how quickly it will shut off. In 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, when does it decide to shut off? So, really annoying. Hopefully it's not active. Also the bottom is plastic and you don't have any nice rubber feet, you just get this. This is built down to a price. And warnings, do not go touchy inside of this thingy, obviously. Plugged the brick from the router, plugged it into the socket. Power on. And I'm going to also get a cable, forgot to get it the first time. Yes, it has the USB on the front. And this is not a rubber one that you can actually lift it or down. This is a plastic cover that you kind of remove. This is, I think, type B USB, the ones that are used in printers also, at least older printers. So I'm going to get a cable and connect it to my laptop and install the software. Or maybe at first I will not even install it, just see if it will shut my router off by itself. But wait, I don't know how much charge it has in it. I need to install the software. Damn it. Be back in a second. Plugged in, but at least Windows 11 does not automatically detect it, so I came to this address right here up top. I will put it in the description. Selecting 5E and software and power management software, Eaton UPS companion. Download now. Hopefully also has drivers included. So kind of click on this and either install it. Something else that I want to mention, Eaton websites are really slow. So they are working, but they are really slow. Eaton, you should be upgrading your servers a little bit. Software installed, this is the version. Hopefully it also installed some drivers, because it didn't say anything about those. So we'll see. Maybe my cable is having problems. It is an old cable, but I thought it's a working old cable. Could be a non-working old cable. Be back in a second. Nope, the cable was good. I just changed the USB port on the laptop. It was plugged in to the... what? 54 watts? What is drawing 54 watts? I just have a router on it. The router is rated at less than 15 watts. This does not compute. Anyway, but I don't think it will shut off at this load, but neither should it see so big of a load. Or this is the minimum that it can actually show, and if there's anything below that, it will not show it. I need to plug in something that draws way less power, but it's a router, it will not draw that. It's not drawing that. Jesus. Anyway, I'm going to let it charge and then see for how long it will run, because even if this is incorrect, it should run for a really long time, because again my router is drawing about 15 watts. At least that is what it's rated for. Not this, for sure. So yeah, there's that. And yes, this is a line interactive router, so it's not an offline router. Those really suck because it does take a while for them to kick in. It's also not an online, which is best for really sensitive stuff. It's middle of the road towards better. So yeah, for what we need it on a router, this will work way better than not having one for sure. But this is not real. Okay, so a few hours later, as you can see, we are charging this way more. This thingy, the lowest I've seen it go, I think it was 48 watts or something like that. But that is absolutely not possible because, yeah, you can see now, it jumped to 48. Because let me show you. Let me be back in a okay. The calculator went all over at maximum zoom. So the power brick of the router is 12 volts at 1.5 amps. So this is the maximum, absolute maximum this router will take. Which kind of means that it can never draw this much. And I think this UPS is basically unable to properly calculate for devices that take lower than this. Even if I look at the test, yeah, I have this on another display for our particular model. Where is it? Here it is. For runtime, they never tested below, where is my mouse? Below 47 watts. So, yeah, I'm just going to test it now and make sure it doesn't actually shut off with such a small load on it. If it doesn't, yay! If it does shut off, it's going back. So, let me basically test it. What I will do now, just unplug it. And we are on UPS power. We can hear a bit of buzzing and beeping from time to time. I don't care about that. Not this system. I'm just plugged into this laptop. This is a laptop, it doesn't care. But those 88 watts, wait, what? What are you talking about? Maybe with also the internal consumption of the UPS itself, but its output load. Let me just show you so we don't have anything. So this is in, which we just disconnected, and this is out. And look in there, output, yeah, it's reversed. It's 12 volt at 1.5 amps. And it's going into this particular tender router. So, yeah, I don't get it. This is not a correct number for sure. And hopefully neither that one, because my load is way less than this, so it should hold on to way more than that. I properly don't get what's happening. But yeah, I'm going to let it do its thing and continue to beep. Who knows? But at least it's not shutting down at the moment. I literally am not getting what's happening here. When I unplugged it, the output just went up. So it's adding its internal consumption to this output. So it's not output load. And it's discharging at an alarming rate. So either it actually needs a formatting of the battery, a learning of the battery or something. But I'm putting something under 20 watts of power draw on it, and it's literally lasting less than they say here. It should last at 47 watts. It should last 50 minutes. Yes, from 100% I was at, it was showing almost 90 or something like that, but it dropped to 62 in a matter of I don't know, less than 10 minutes from when I started it. So this is fairly accurate. Between these two, they are going down at a fairly accurate rate. So either this UPS is really, really, really weak compared to APC UPS units that we had at work at one point. Those were able to keep an HP workstation and a monitor for 15 minutes. And those took a lot of power, not something like this, which is not real. I'm going to get my socket, power meter socket, and see what's the real consumption of that thing right there. Actually, basically that thing through that power brick, because it's not 88 watts. Tada! 41 watts. Who's taking the 41 watts? So is this a joke? So basically it's taking 41 watts just to keep itself on. I mean, really? It actually could be, maybe most of them do this, but why is it on the output load? It put there, this is basically a lie. You are lying to me. There's no load on the output and you are telling me that's taking 41 watts. That's not output. That's unit power consumption. Let's see what the router is actually taking. Be back in a second. I plugged this in by itself and literally smoke started to come out of it. I don't understand why. Maybe this is not a pure sine wave and somehow this cannot handle that. But it doesn't make sense. Will this kill some random devices? I plug this then into a normal socket and it continues to work normally. So now I'm also plugging the router in and quickly see like this, hopefully. No, it's not showing me 1 watt, it's not showing me real. And this was buzzing really, really weirdly. I don't get it. Okay, so plugged something else into this thing, which is in a normal socket, and it's not creating smoke in a normal socket. This is drawing 13 watts. The maximum that it can draw, I think it's 18 watts or something like that. Let's plug this into that thing and see how much that shows that it will take. Then plug the router in here and see how much this says the router will take. I don't get it. I need some way to compare stuff. Okay, 82 watts. Unplug this. Hopefully it will not damage something else, but that power socket metering device, nope. 88 watts. So how are you counting? So this thing, because on this one it's actually written in watts. Come on, camera, focus please. So, okay, it can take maximum 19 watts. Let's say 20 watts. This has 41. Let's plug something in. 41 plus 20. 82. So either this is extreme, 88, sorry about that. Either this is absolutely extremely inefficient. Hopefully not all UPSs are like that and I just didn't know about it. Or mine is damaged, or I don't get it, but no. And look at this, I still have 11 minutes and look at the time. So yeah, the original 30 minutes was quite bang on. With a tiny load on it, really? Doesn't make sense. This is literally this thing plugged in here. Is this some kind of stupid joke? So this router is basically drawing nothing. Yes, I am going to try and contact them really quickly, and if I don't get a clear answer on this, this unit is going back and I'm buying from a different brand. This doesn't make sense at all. Basically, this unit is consuming its own power just to stay on. It's basically consuming way more than the load that I'm putting on it. I do understand that it needs to use power to stay on. That's absolutely normal. It has an inverter in it, which obviously has a certain efficiency. But how much it actually consumes to stay on with an absolute tiny load, a load of 3 watts, and when I plug it in here, let me just show you. You might say I'm crazy. I'm not. 41 watts, now 88 watts. And the time is going down. We are at 20% battery, so basically, really. And it just shut itself off. Yeah, it shut off by itself. So basically this thing was able to run, I don't know, half an hour with a router on it that basically consumes nothing. I just don't get it. I hope from the bottom of my heart that this is a defective unit, because otherwise this is a really bad product. What are you talking about? Shut down in 35 minutes and 10 seconds. What? Wait, what? What are you talking about? What is this? It went off and I powered it on again. And what? Did I really get a defective unit? What's happening here? I got a defective unit. I cannot explain this in any other way. I'm going to contact Eaton for sure now. Yeah, this is a long video, but it's really frustrating. This doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, so this thing shut off once again, and it literally went for about half an hour. Let me try and power it on again. Okay, so it powered on again. It's again on. Router went on, and this is not real what you are seeing here. It needs to update. So let's wait for it to update again. Or is this actually real this time? So it can hold that particular router for about an hour and something like that? No, it's not real. Look at this. It went again. So it has no clue how long the battery can last. Absolutely no clue. So it's not checking some voltages. It's just guessing by what it thinks the load is. Is it that dumb? It cannot be that dumb. Doesn't make sense to be that dumb. And I can bet that again it will work for another half an hour now. So this isn't drawing nowhere near what it thinks it is drawing. This is really annoying, Jesus. Damn it, forgot to film. I opened up this thing, and somewhere around this area, actually no, because I was looking at it from the from the front, somewhere behind the menu button, there's a resistor. That one heats up. It's part of the power supply for this particular thing, so it's not the shunt, the way this measures the wattage. It's just its power supply, so its power supply is not compatible with this. Why exactly, I have no clue, and how I can find out about other devices without damaging them, if they are compatible or not, that I also don't know. But an email is going to get sent now to Eaton. This thing, I think I can, it will shut off and I can power it on again 2 or 3 more times and it will still run, because this basically draws nothing, absolutely nothing. And just to make sure, it's not the automatic shutdown that I was fearing at the beginning of the video. This thing literally goes down to 20% when it's in reality not at 20%. So it has no idea what capacity the battery has in it. It's not checking the battery to see the voltages and how much it is drained. It's just guessing through software and through the load it thinks it has, but it actually doesn't have. It's just some software gibberish. We have come to that hardware is not doing anything and we have just dumb software. I hope it's not that, because that would mean that this is useless. So I am writing the email to the Eaton representative that I'm in contact with, and I really hope he can clarify some things, and we'll see. Jesus, I hope not all UPSs do this, because that would be really, really dumb. But some APC ones, back in the day, for sure they were showing the correct wattage, and yeah, based on the wattage change, they were adapting the time and the real running time, and when they went to 20%, if you power them again, they were at 20%, not like this one going again to 88% and whatnot. Okay, I'm trying something else. I've connected this HP Compaq LA2306X monitor. Let me show you. It can consume maximum 41.5 watts, as you can see here. And let's take a look at this. 109 watts. So even adding the 41 watts that this thing is consuming by itself with nothing plugged in, it should be 82.5, not 109, 102 and whatever it's showing now. So it's basically showing a much higher consumption than the things that are plugged into it. It's highly inefficient in my view. I don't get it. And I keep muting it. This remains set, so it will not shut down my laptop that is connected through USB. But the beeping, every single time I power it on without being connected to the socket, starts beeping again, so I need to set it to disable. Why it doesn't remember that setting, I've got no clue. But hey, there's that. At this moment I connected this monitor because I want to try and drain the battery. I want to see if it now goes down to 20%, is it actually drained, or if I power it on again it will run for a while. I literally don't know at this point. So it went off at 70% with 5 minutes of runtime. And now let me see if I can somehow power it on again. Okay, so it's on again. Let's wait for this thing to update. It will take a bit. Yeah, and again you can hear the beeping. Jesus. Are you kidding me? Disabled. Status. Look at that. So it's basically having no idea what the state of charge of the battery is. It literally sets a timer based on the load that it thinks it has and shuts off when that timer ends. It's not checking the battery voltage to see the state of charge of the battery. Let me try something else. Let me power off the monitor. The consumption should drop by a lot because it only draws 1 or 2 watts in standby. What? Are you kidding me? What is this? Is this a joke? The monitor is off at this point.
No, this UPS is basically stupid. Or I hope from the bottom of my heart I have a bad unit, because otherwise I don't recommend this UPS to anybody out there. You can do much better for the same money. Now it seems to be dropping just a tiny bit. And it's back. And it should be, even if the UPS itself is drawing 40 watts just to stay on, this monitor should be adding only about 2 or 3 watts at this moment. Let me show you that. Look at here. Switch off. Less than 0.5 watts. UPS, how are you telling me 95 watts? Who's drawing that? This is a joke, honestly. Another shut off at 17%. Let's power it on again. And why do I need to press that? Jesus, that beeping. Why do I need to press that button twice every single time for this unit to power on? I don't know. My monitor is on now. Let's wait for this thing. Again, the beeping. Great. Thank you very much, Eaton, for that stupid beeping. And again, so the real capacity of the battery, it's 62%. So I played with this thing a lot, and I mean absolutely a lot. Yesterday with the router, now with the monitor, and this was probably the real capacity. It still has 62%. Because it doesn't check the real state of the battery, it just sets a timer based on what it thinks it consumes. So this is as dumb as it can be. It doesn't make any sense how this UPS is actually working here. Another run. So I'm 100% this thing has literally no clue about the state of charge of these batteries. Or actually it only checks it at the moment it powers on. And then it sets a timer and works on that timer based on this consumption that is not real. This is the first time I actually hear it beeping like the battery is going out. And it took a lot of restarting to get to this point, so only now basically we have drained the battery fully. So we really managed to drain it to zero in the end. That was that beeping. And 75 watts load from a 40 watt maximum monitor. Let me put that monitor to standby. Just a second and click the button. Wait for this to update. So a monitor that should take less than half a watt in standby is taking 54 watts? Never ever. Are you showing me also the internal losses of the unit or the energy that's using to charge the battery at the moment? But why is it at output load? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The software is really bad on this unit. Okay, another try. I left this thing to charge to 100% once again. I only have the router, which for sure is not consuming that. We are plugged in. And let me try to unplug it. Okay, and now we are on battery power. Let's see what happens. 82 watts with a router. Are you kidding me? 38 minutes. So no, basically this doesn't check the voltage of the battery. It literally sets a timer depending on that particular load. It's kind of that easy. And it also doesn't see properly the load itself. So this is going back, and I don't recommend you get it. I am going to let it run for this 38 minutes just to make sure it doesn't have a weird timer. And then I will power it once again, 39 minutes, to see how much battery it actually has left from the 100%, to see how much it consumes in about 40 minutes, because it will be close to nothing. But yes, this thing, no, it's, yeah, I can do much better for the same price, and I will link a video in the description with another unit that I'm buying basically now, and it's not from Eaton for sure. And it shut off. Let me power it on. Press the button twice to cold start it. Did it? What? Didn't power on actually? Okay, 3 times the charm. Let me see it updating and see what real capacity we have left. And I'm guessing it will be way more than 80%. Yep, 98%. So in more than half an hour, we literally used 2% of the battery. So this is not checking battery voltage. This is just doing some guessing through software. It's extremely dumb. The load is not shown correctly. It's going back, and don't buy it. And my daughter in the background. Don't buy it. I don't recommend it at all. And again, in the description there will be a proper unit. Yeah, Eaton. And I didn't get a reply yet from Eaton representative. If I get one before posting the video, I will tell you about it.
Well. This is going to replace the Eaton because I've had enough with it. It's packed and it's waiting to be shipped today back, and I'm getting my money back. I hope all of them, because it looks exactly as it did when I got it. So yeah, and this little brand seems to be quite good. Honestly, for me, they were a no-name before I started to dig a little bit, and they seem to make really good, reliable UPSs. So a separate video will be done for this, and for this video for the Eaton, I will end it once I get my final feedback from Eaton representatives. I am in contact with them. I'm giving them all the details that they required. Hopefully they will not tell me to do some more testing on the PSU itself, because that will be long gone.
Okay, so ended up returning the unit and got the Enjoy, which you can find in the description. This I had a communication with the Romanian Eaton guy. He did his best, so he tried to help me, but in the end he forwarded me to technical support in English, and he just was relaying our messages. Basically, this is the questions from technical support. My answers, they are cut because Yahoo Mail is stupid when printing something. So yeah, tried to explain everything as you can see in my video. Also to the guy, at one point he was saying could be normal power loss 41 watts, and that's a lot. Anyway, but yeah, couldn't figure out anything, so they said to basically send the unit in for service. But I better returned actually the unit and got another one than wait for service. Gave them all the numbers, my order number, my return number, in case they want to follow up on this particular unit and fix it or see what the issue was. For me, it was just wasted time at this point, and I didn't want to have anything to do with Eaton UPSs anymore. So that's about it. From my experience, I don't recommend it at all. I don't know, search for other reviews, see what you are trying to use it for, but I got something way better for about the same money, or actually a little bit more, but I also got a higher capacity one, so yeah, there's that. In the end, it worked out better for me. That's about it for this video. Hope it helps anybody out there, in which case please give it a like, check out my other videos, and as always, see you in the next one. Bye.